Welcome to today's session, which is about how to create a parking layout on a retail site. Today we're going to look at finishing the areas around the parking lot, as well as some miscellaneous features in Civil 3D that we can use for the odd areas around the building and the existing infrastructure. We will also look at how to create a slope analysis for our design. So the areas that we're going to focus on today will be grading around the parking area, and also we will look at the area between the parking and the building platform, and we'll tie up also to the existing roads, and also then we will do slope analysis. We will follow this parking lot grading workflow. If you remember, in the previous video we had done items number 1, number 2. Today we will focus on number 3 and number 4, and then in the next video we will look at the 5, 6, 7 items. My name is Loyiso Toi. I'm a civil engineer at WSA Consulting. This channel is for you, and the topics we cover come directly from questions we get on a daily basis. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. We also welcome your comments on this video. If there are other topics you would like us to cover, please get in touch by leaving a comment. With that said, let's dive in. We begin with our drawing from the previous video showing the parking layout of the retail development. Please check the link in the description for the workflow we followed in arriving at this design. So just for ease of visibility, we will just switch off these triangles on the surface so that there is a bit more clarity in what we are doing. Okay. We now want to create a retaining wall from about this area to about there. So we now select. We will do we now select this feature line, and then we will do a grading of a retaining wall. So let's create that. So select feature line, and we will not go for the entire length. And we will choose to start with our retaining wall in this area, and we'll finish our retaining wall there. We accept that. Okay. Escape out of that. Okay, so now we do have our retaining wall, because we just didn't want to go out of this, take too much of this land. In this area, we want to match to existing. We will then use a daylight to grading object, and for this area, so we will use that to create a grading. Select our feature line. We will start right at the end there, and we will go till about here. Okay, we accept that. Cut slope, yes, we're happy with that. Okay, now we can escape that. We now create a polyline from this daylight line to the top of the retaining wall. We'll do our polyline here, over there, and then we'll close it. We will now create a feature line from this polyline and we will put that in the pond and cap surface. Okay, we accept this. We'll pull elevations from the existing ground. Okay, now we've got our polyline. We now want to create an infill. We want to create an infill in here. We want to create an infill in that area. Okay, so now we have our infill. We want to repeat this process on this side of this entrance road. We come back here, we do a grading. Okay, let's set a surface. Set that surface. Okay, select a feature line. We're going to select this feature line. We will start our retaining walls ended there. We'll start around about here. Zoom in there. Start at this point. We accept that. Looks like my machine is freezing on me. Yeah, I'll accept that. Okay, so now it's generating the daylight. Okay, we exit of that command. Okay, so there's our fill, our cut. We're again gonna repeat that process where we will draw a polyline from here to the end point. We convert this feature line, this polyline into a feature line. Okay, happy with that. We're pulling elevations from there. Okay, standard. Okay, again we want to do an infill in that area. Okay, let's proceed again and we'll do the same grading to elevation. Okay, to surface, yeah. So let's create the grading in this area. In this case, we'll go the entire length. Okay, exit out of that. Okay, so now there's our grading in that area. We now can select our surfaces and just to have a look at this in object viewer. Go back. Now you can see that In some of the areas we've got our cut slopes. We've got our cut slope there, and in this area we've got our retaining wall. You can see our retaining wall in this area at the back here. There's our cut slope there. Let's see, even here by the entrance. So what we have here. By this entrance, you can see that we have got a bit of a cut slope here, all the way. Let's see. Okay, which area is that? Okay. Let's have a look at that side. I want to see this side. Yeah, I'll keep rotating it. Yes, this is the side I wanted to have a look at. Yep. Beginning to see what our surface is looking like now. Okay. Okay. And it's looking better. Okay, so we are in field in this area, in front of the parking, and at this point we are in cut. So we need to resolve this area as we tie into the existing route, which is that area, and that area, and that area. So those three areas still need to be sorted out to complete the surface. We now want to create a new surface, which we will call. We will create a new surface. We will call finish grade, FG. We will call this surface FG, and it's okay. Maybe with that a tin surface. Okay, where's our FG? Okay, here's our surface. We come under here. We're going to edit, and we're going to paste the surface. So here what we want to do, we want to paste that, and then we want to paste this one after that. Okay, so if we now look at this surface, let's show it. Okay, so now here's this surface. Let's just look at it under object viewer. That's the new finished grade surface comprising of the entire design. But we're not finished yet. We still have to do these tie-in areas to the existing road. But you're beginning to see the, let's look at it conceptually, or maybe let's look at 3D wireframe. Okay, yes. So now you're beginning to see that this is a combined surface, because there's everything, there's the curb islands, everything is beginning to show nicely. We're now gonna start to address this area around the building now that we have got the surface. Also, let's go back to realistic. Yes, we can see everything nicely. There's our curbs, our curb islands. We now need to fill up this area next to the existing road. We will convert this polyline into a feature line, and we will put it onto that new site, and we'll assign elevations from the existing ground. Okay, we want to add this feature line to a surface, to the FG surface as a break line. And what we then see is that immediately we do that, it does triangulate immediately after that. And we see that there is a gap that is left in this area. We will now run a show boundary in this area, and we will then pick on this boundary, and that helps to fill up that whole area there. We now have a feature line. We now have a feature line around the building platform. So what we want to do is to create from this feature line to the existing surface. So let's pick up that, and we create a grade. Select that feature line. We're going to create it to this side. We're not going to go the entire length. We will start. We'll start round about here. We'll start round about there, and we go to this area. Okay, accept that. Okay, so now we've done our grading. Okay, we're also going to grade from this feature line. We're also going to grade to the surface from this feature line. Select that feature line. Again, we're not going to go the entire length. We want to start there, and we'll go to, let's say, there. Okay, space it to our grading. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we now create a polyline. Create an arc there. We want to convert this feature line to this polyline to a feature line. We'll put onto the pond and cap surface. We'll assign elevation here. Okay. We now can do an infill. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that, but let's leave this now. Okay, so we also want to come into, reason why we're not doing an infill there is just that it's not a closed. Once we do the other side, it will be a closed area where that will then allow us to do an infill. Okay, so we do another grading here. Select this feature line. Okay, we're gonna go from about there, let's see, okay, there, till about maybe that. Okay, yeah, happy with that station. Okay, we got our grading done. Get out of that. Okay, so we've created our grading there. We again will draw a polyline from there, say to about there, and create an arc here. Yep. Again, we'll convert that to a feature line. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now you can see our surface, so it wants to be rebuilt here. We'll come back and do that a little later. We now want to add a boundary to our surface just to complete it. So I'm going to open up this layer that has got this boundary. Okay, so we come to our surface under boundaries. We add this boundary as a non-destructive, and then yeah, so if we just rebuild our surface now, we find that okay, I just want to bring this definition, boundary number 6. Yeah, after having done the updated this, put in this new boundary, we now have neatened up our surface, and it is showing up nicely as we want it. Now we can have a look at it in Object Viewer, and we are beginning to see our surface. And we can look at it in, let's look at it in Conceptual. There's our new surface with the building platform in this area. Okay, let me just change this to the realistic. That's not that great either. Let's see. Which one might we try? Let's try this wireframe. Okay, so this is now our new surface. And as you can see in this area, we are sloping to the existing ground, and the building platform will be there. So So yes, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna look at a slope analysis of this design of ours. Just wanna change the style of this surface so that it shows us contours. I'm gonna switch off the triangles. Yes, again we can begin to see that this is our parking area. This is the platform where the building will be located. We can see we've got much gentler slopes in this area. The entrance will be located there, and we can see we've got quite a bit of a steep slope coming up against the building, same as in this side. But there's our roadway behind the building. Again, if we can try and look at this in Object Viewer, we now again are beginning to see the contours quite nicely. Let me look at it there. Okay, it's not the best view there. Let me see. Yes. Now that is our design. It's looking much better. We can visualize what we have come up with. And here we do have a bit of a steep section at the entrance here, but these other ones are not so bad. Okay, I think now what we're going to do is to have a look at the slope analysis. We're gonna, under here we're gonna use slopes, and then in the analysis we'll do these ranges. No, that's not what we want. We want the slopes. Okay, there's our ranges. We apply. So now we begin to see the various slopes that are applicable on our platform. And I think for the purpose of this, if we were to find that there are areas that we need to adjust, we would then just have to play around with our design again. But these green areas, these are the banks. That's where you see them being more steep. And the red areas are the much flatter areas. So yeah, I think we will bring this video to a close now. And in the next video, we will start doing some volume calculations for this design. We assist designers with showing them how they can use the software on their projects. We can also help you to develop design workflows for increased efficiency. We assist in eliminating rework and errors in your designs, and hence improve coordination during the design process. In the next video, we will cover earthwork volumes. And we hope this video has shown you how you can model your site development projects with Civil 3D. With that said, thank you very much.